Bit of a different video, but we'll be making a pulley rig today. Obviously we've got the aero pulleys there. There's one already made in the back, so we're going to be making that. There's aero pulleys there. There's the hooks. Going to be using them. Tamus hook size 4s, splashdowns, beads, 2-way swivels. Basically that's it with the pulley, rotten bottom clips. So we'll get one of them. Some line off here. Look. That'll look probably about that much to there. Snip. How we going? Right, how we going first? A little bit. I'm gonna tie this on like that. Pretty simple to make these really. 1, 2, 3 turns. It's £80 line this. Strong line ready for the cod season. Oh. And pull. There we go. That should be done for that. There we go. So there's a splashdown on the first bit, and then we've got this bit coming up here. Now I'm going to do something different here, because I've got those, but I prefer these ones. Let's have a little look in here. I prefer to use them. I think they're just more simpler for me. Right. So I'm going to stick a bead on as well. There we go. Get a bead out. There's a bead on. Then with a 2-way swivel, size 8s, 50 then, 40-50, so you can pretty much make like 50 rigs. All this costs about 30 quid, so by the time you make your rigs a lot cheaper than buying pulley rigs off the internet and stuff, and bait shops. Because you end about 50 pulleys, probably about 100 quid, but I'm making for 30 quid, so a lot cheaper. There we go. So now we're tying this bit on here. Like that, through there. And again, probably about 3 turns, just like that. Because it is £80 line, so it's very thick. 1, 2, 3, straight through the bottom. Simple, really, when you think of it. And then pull tight. There we go. Wet it a bit. Pull. There we go. Snip the ends off. Snip a bit of the end off there. There we go. So there's that bit done. And then you've got this end as well. So there's the splashdown. There's the pulley bit with a bead on, which is there. Just a nice bead to stop that. So there's the first bit done. Now on the second bit, again, where's the line? Get some line. Measure this as well, probably about the same length like that. Give it a snip. There we go. Again, nice and simple. Through, they're probably one of these rigs to make these pulleys. We're going 3 turns again. 1, 2, 3. We're going through there, and then there. So I'm thinking either a pulley panel or just a normal pulley rig with 1 hook. Depends where it's snaggy. If it's snaggy, let's put 1 hook on. But panels sometimes better because you can basically more chance hooking your fish. Let's have a look at the pulley so far. And that's that. And then we're going to get a hook. Over here. Nice sharp hook, size 4. I think with this one I'm just going to put a single hook on. I'm not going to bother with the pulley panels yet. I'm just going to make one like this. Right. Again, 3 or 4 turns. Through the bottom. Pull. There we go. Pretty much done. Snip the end off. There we go. Pretty much done. Let's have a little look now. Right, there's a pulley bit. And there we go, pretty simple really. There you go, splash down. Obviously the pulley bead, which goes all the way up your line like that. All the way to the bead and the 2-way swivel, and then you've got your hook length here with a nice hook on the bottom, which is there. So all together, it just makes a nice rig look. And there we go, pretty simple. There you go, look, there it is. And it comes all the way down to here, look. And there you go. You've obviously got that at the end, like this. And then that will clip into there. And there you go. And then obviously you put your line on the end of there with your rotten bottom on, and you know how the rest is. And then you just hook it on top of there and it's done. And that's about it. Get one of these out. So that'll be like that. Obviously with a bait on, and it hits the water, pops out like that, and there you go. But yeah, these go on there like that. Hard to get on sometimes, these. Gotta force them on. Eventually got it on. There you go. There's your little clip. Now let's get some line, £30 line. Got a look on here. Get a little bit of this, cut it off, not much. That's all I need really, but that, not even that really. Tie it on here. Yeah, pulley rig's pretty simple, and it's a good rig. You know, especially with a rotten bottom on what I'm doing here. Because if you do get a snag and your weight gets stuck and you do pull, obviously being light line, it'll snap off. You've got more chance of keeping your fish and losing your lead. Obviously it's £80, the whole pulley rig, and this is £30, so obviously it's weaker line. So obviously you take that, get a weight out of the box now. This one is 7 ounce, pretty simple, tie it on, about 8 turns like that, straight for the bottom, pull, here we go, that's on, and there's that bit, the rotten bottom, look. It's a bit long that, I haven't normally shortened that, but then you just put it up like that. Some people twirl them up, it sits in there like that. Then you've got that, and obviously hits the water, that pops off, goes like that. If that goes into a snag and you pull hard, that'll snap, and then at least you know you've still got your 80-pound line, and you've possibly got a chance of keeping your fish on there. So that's that. So that goes in there like that. Where's the hook? And the hook will go in there like that. Once you open that up. And there you go. Pretty much, there you go. And then when you've got a bait on your cast off and you're ready to go, and that's the easiest, simplest way to make a pulley rig with rotten bottom on. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one.